Yo, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. It's Tubling, and I hope you guys are having a great day so far. And to be real with y'all, I just got a haircut about like a week ago, man, and my hair is going back. So y'all know what that means. I'm about to cut my own hair. I've done this in a kind of a little bit. I normally don't taper my own back. I have somebody do it for me, and I'm gonna do it this time. Actually, I'm not gonna taper the back, but I'm gonna do the sides. I mean, I'm kind of liking the cut. I wish my hair didn't grow so fast, man. As it's probably only been like a week, maybe even less than that. But I'm a little due for a cut, and so I'm gonna show you guys how to cut your own hair. We're gonna do a self-cut tutorial. I'm gonna give you the ins and outs, anything you guys might want to know. And for me, keeping one thing in mind, guys, it's gonna be easier for me to do it than you guys. One, because I've done this before. I kind of know like the motions, and I know how it plays out in the mirror, how it kind of looks inverted and stuff. But I am gonna give you every step of the way, and you guys can do it as long as you guys follow these instructions. Without further ado, let's go. I'm gonna give myself a taper. We're gonna run over there to the station, and I'll show you guys what we're working with. Alright, YouTube. Alright, so basically, you guys are gonna need a few things, alright? One, you're gonna have to make sure that you have a mirror. Obviously, I'm not gonna cut my hair here, but you're gonna want somewhere where there's a mirror just so you can be able to see while you're cutting. Because it's only gonna be the sides, you don't need one that has like a triple mirror or nothing like that to look at the back. If you do want to do the back, I would recommend, if you don't have the triple mirror, just grab a mirror like this. So when you do it, you can end up looking like this and watching the back on what you're doing in the back, okay? So if it doesn't end up working like that, make sure to do this, and that's how you'll do it. We're gonna put it back because we're not gonna test the back. Have no need to. There's gonna, like I said before, there's gonna be a few things you guys are gonna need. One, I'm not gonna touch the top because I'm happy with the length right now, so we're not gonna do too much with it. You're gonna need a comb. One, so you can comb down the hair while you're cutting, and you want a little brush. You can, if you don't have a brush, you can just use your comb, but your comb is gonna be pretty important. Make sure you have a comb so you can brush it down and lay it in the direction that you're gonna be cutting in. Okay, so you're gonna want to do that. And second, you have a little. This is not like a necessity, but you need at least one clipper. Okay, just one. It doesn't have to be the best. It doesn't have to be anything. It just needs to be a clipper. So I'm gonna show you guys this one right here. I'm gonna use these two because these are my go-tos right here, and I use them for kind of different things. But that's, like I said, you need one. It doesn't need to be the best. And if you don't have a trimmer, obviously I do because I'm a barber. If you don't have a trimmer, something to kind of like line up with, you could either, like, if you do want to line yourself up and you don't have a trimmer, just use this. And let me see, hold up. It won't leave the sharpest line, but you will be able to kind of line yourself up if you just use this. Make sure that your lever's closed, and then just tap at it, and you'll get somewhat of a line. But these are the three things you're gonna need right here. At least one of these, and this, the brush, and this. If you want to cut off the top, I would suggest doing it with your clippers. I have shears in here, but you're not really gonna want to use shears to cut off the top like on the self-cut. It will get difficult, so keep that in mind. Clipper, if all you have is this, a clipper to cut with, you're all good to go, man. That's really, and just a comb. Only two things you guys are gonna need. I'm gonna meet you over there at the station. I'm gonna show you guys my little setup, like where I'm gonna be, and let's get to it. All right, you guys, so this is what the setup is looking like. Obviously, you guys can see me. What's up, you guys? I'm gonna have these mirrors right here to move. That's what I'm gonna use. Here's my little tripod. I'm gonna set it up when I start cutting. So I got my guards up to my 3. It's a half, 1, 1.5, 2, and 3. I'm most likely not gonna need this 3 guard, but I'm gonna just use it to see where my hair is at. My trimmer, my guard, and my comb and my brush, like I mentioned. And this is really all you guys are gonna need. And I'm gonna share with you guys the knowledge of how to do it. And let's jump into it. Alright, you guys, and you guys want to make sure you guys have light as well. Light is going to be one of the most important things of this all, because you need to be able to make sure you're seeing everything. Lighting is a big thing when it comes to cutting hair. Alright, you guys, the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and make a bald guideline. And we're going to make this, since it's a mid, we're going to make it about halfway through my little arch, which is what it's called, the C-cut. And now we're going to go lever open on the clipper, and we're going to go up about another inch. And we're going to just make sure that it's all the same length within that inch, and then we'll start to blend it out, and I'll show you guys how I do that. I like to close it little by little as I go down, and at some point I'll be all the way closed and I'll be at the way bottom of that guideline. And as you guys can see, I showed you where my lever was at, and I showed you guys how much lower you guys want to be. Alright, and now that that section is blended, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next, which is the one guard open. As you guys see, I showed you guys where my lever's at, and we're going to go up about another inch. And after this, we're going to go one close right underneath. But you want to go about halfway through that guideline that you did previously with that one open. And make sure it's pretty soft, and the half guard will really put it together, and I'll show you guys when I get it. Alright, so now we got that half guard. We're going to have it all the way closed, and we're just going to flick at that middle line that you still see with that lever open and that one closed. And once we flick at it, it should really just disappear with this guard, and then we'll move on to our next step, and that is going to be the two open. Here we got that two open, and then we're gonna go two close right after that, kind of like how we do with that one. Underneath it, we're gonna go two close, and yeah, it should pretty much get into there. Then we're gonna go with that 1.5. And make sure you guys are flicking. And the reason why you guys want to flick is because when you flick, you're gonna not create really harsh guidelines, and when you don't create harsh guidelines, you're able to fade it out a whole lot easier, and you're not gonna have as much trouble taking all of this out. But now I just picked up that 1.5 guard. We're gonna go ahead and start open and flick at that line that you left with that one open, and trying to get into that two close. And once you go with that one open or the 1.5 open, you're gonna go 1.5 closed, and it should be blended after you flick it out. Alright, and now that you guys seen the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys watch this side. I'm gonna try to guys walk you through it just a little bit, but it's the exact same as the other side. And I'll just go ahead and give you little tips and tricks throughout this side right here. This first initial guideline right here tends to be the one that takes the longest for me to blend out.
especially when you're holding it in this awkward angle like I am. You got to get used to it. But once you do it a couple times, I mean, it tends to go by a lot faster. The reason why you want to keep guidelines is to kind of remember and keep track of where you are within your fade, and that way you don't get lost. Because if you continue to fade without guidelines and you don't understand how to cut hair, you're gonna get very lost, and you're gonna end up not really knowing what to do, where, and when. Make sure after every stroke you're seeing how much you're cutting off, what you're cutting off, and whether it's working or not. If you're cutting and you're just cutting blindly, you're not really sure what you're cutting, take a second, look at the tutorial and see where exactly you should be at what time. But right now I'm going to go ahead and line myself up. I like to preserve a lot of the lineup just because my bangs kind of like hang over anyway, so there's no real need for me to kind of get cosmetic and get deep into my lineup, because you're not really going to see it half the time. So the vertical bars are play an important role in this one.
Alright, you guys, this is the cut. I just got out the shower. I had to take a shower because, I was way too itchy. I always do. As soon as I come on here, it's like, it's so much worse than cutting somebody else's hair. Like, oh, it's bad, man. It's bad. When you cut your own hair, be prepared to get all itchy and all hair all over you. You're going to have time to take a shower as well. So keep that in mind. Alright, you guys. Well, that was the cut. I hope you guys enjoyed, watching it, or hopefully you learned anything, even a little bit. The steps are pretty simple, man. It's the same thing, both sides. You want to make it identical, so when you look at it, they look the same. I'll give you guys one more look at it. This is the cut. Like I said, I didn't do the back, or else I would show you the back as well. I didn't do anything to the top just because right now the length is cool. I'll probably have somebody do it next time. But I can do it myself. It's not hard. You just kind of get your comb and you even it out or whatever the case. But that part is a lot easier having somebody else do it for you. But I kind of forgot how much I really when I first started cutting my hair, I really liked it. But nowadays, I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather have somebody else do it for me. You know what I mean? Like, going through the whole process, I'm like, you know what, bro? I just have somebody else do it for me. Somebody that wants to cut my hair, I'd rather just pay somebody for it rather than sit there and do it myself like I used to. That's how I learned. If any of you guys ever want to if any of you guys want to know how I even learned how to cut hair or how I got into it, I started cutting my own hair. Y'all can see it's pretty blurry and all that, but yeah, that's kind of how it was. Obviously, I could have done better, but I didn't want to spend too much time on it, so I was like, I just kind of did what I did in the amount of time that I did. Obviously, it came out good. It's not the absolute best, but it is what I wanted to do in that time frame, because I didn't want to spend, like I said, a couple hours on it. I definitely didn't, And if I did, I would have just went to get a haircut from somebody, right? But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Like, it's tube lean. Make sure to like and subscribe. It will mean a lot to me, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys for clicking on this video. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.